Hello, this is Becky from the Marks Group, welcoming you to our monthly Salesforce Tips and Tricks webinar. As you know, each month we post new tips to the website, and on the last Tuesday, we review them live by webinar. If you're not getting the Marks Group newsletter, or you're watching this on our YouTube channel, please go to themarksgroup.net and sign up. You can check out our past posts while you're there. I have chat enabled, so if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask, and I may leave some questions to the end so we can dive a little bit deeper after we run through each tip. So let's get to it. We're going to look at some admin features of Salesforce today, and starting with the Lightning Object Browser Manager. It's a little bit different than in Standard Edition. We are going to go to the gear icon and click Setup. Notice that the Object Manager in Lightning is now up here on the tabs. In Standard, you would go down in your list and you would find the Objects part of the navigation. Now in Lightning, you're just going to click Object Manager. In here now, you're going to see all of the objects that you have. These are basically the tables Salesforce provides for you. As you can see here, we have account and assets and contact and your events and orders. All those objects are here, whether you use them or not. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the account object. So once you click on the object that you want to have more information about, you will see all of the different settings you can do on the object. So for account, we can look at fields and relationships, page layout, lightning pages, any links and buttons that you might have, your compact layout, record typing, and your search layouts. You can do your triggers, validation rules, all kinds of things are going to be taken care of here in your object browser. Today we're just going to take a look at a couple of the ones that are used most, starting with fields and relationships. Now we are in Object Manager for the account object, and now we're looking at all of the fields that are included in account, like their name, the owner, are they active, their billing address, shipping address, all that kind of stuff. So now we're able to not only see all your objects, but all of your fields. And then from here, you can go ahead and click on them, and we'll take you into their properties as well. You can do some editing, whether it's on the field itself, it's security, it's properties, and that type of thing. So object browser, the object, and then fields and relationships will get you into where all your fields are stored to create new ones and edit existing ones and even remove them. Page layouts, this is going to set up how all these fields look on your page when you're in Salesforce. You probably have more than one layout. Some will have ones for the different types of Salesforce platforms you have. Some may have custom. If you're using a managed package, they might create layouts for you, and you may have created your own. Find the layout that you want to make changes to. Now, this is not the Lightning page layout. This is just the general layout of the fields on the page. From here, you see all the fields available. And down here, you now see them. You can click the button with the dash to remove them. You can grab one from the top and drag it down to the green line. Tells me where I'm going to put it. And I'm going to remove it. I can also move things around. Maybe I want my start date down here as opposed to there, keeping my phone numbers all together. Then maybe not. So that's how you kind of move your fields around, remove them, add them, and don't forget to save after you've made your changes. And lastly, we're going to look at your search layouts. These are what you're going to see when you're searching for something. So if you're going to search for an account name, and it's going to show you some of the fields. So if we go to account, you can see what fields it's going to show me here. Account name, site, phone, alias, that type of thing. So if we click on our search results, drop down, edit, and now you have all of the available fields that you can see on there. You are limited to, I believe, 6, could even be 5. But you can go ahead, click on something. Maybe I want to see the state the person is in. I just click on add. I can move it up or down on the list. And if I don't want it on there at all, I can also select it on the right, hit remove, and that will remove it from my search list. When you're done making changes, make sure you click save so that they will go ahead and then be shown when you go to the record again. Okay, so that is the Object Manager in Lightning and the most used features of fields and relationships, page layout, and search layout. The next thing we're going to take a look at is deleting records in mass. Now, this should only be done by someone, administrator, and someone with some experience. But basically, it's a good thing to use. Let's say maybe you did a mass import of some records from a mailing list, decided you didn't want them in, or maybe they went in incorrectly. You could do a mass delete of all those records, like maybe based on the date that they were added, and not have to go in and manually clean them up. You can also choose an option if to delete them permanently, so they're not in your the deleted folder, or not. You can have them be there just in case you want to get them back. Some examples, again, of how this might work. You've got some reports. You can do mass deletes of old reports. You've imported something incorrectly, or basically you may just want to clean up some things that might be generated by web apps, things like that, or maybe even just clean up some companies that you don't do business with. So to do mass delete records, we're going to go back into our setup, clicking the gear icon. And this time we're going to stay in the setup home. And up here in quick find, we are going to go ahead and type mass delete. And then when that comes up, we'll click on it. It's a good idea if you're going to be doing something large that you've done a backup. We have done prior tips on how to back up your records, possibly even doing a quick report, something that has your data still stored. You can also run a quick local query in Developer Console or report to view the records that you are going to delete. Get a record count to make sure that the final number of records deleted match that count. So after we've made sure of that, we have some options here. We can mass delete accounts, leads, activities, contacts, cases, solutions, products, and reports. If you delete an account, it will delete everything with that account. It'll delete the activities, any opportunities, anything that is related to that account will also be removed. So that's why if you want to clean up some records, it's a good way to do it. You don't have to then pick through everything. So to get started, for our example here, we're going to delete activities. I have some old activities that I want to get rid of that are no longer actual activities. They may be in the future, they may be old. So what I'm going to do here is, I know I created them. So in step 3, I'm going to create my criteria. So I am going to choose created by Now you can use the alias, you can use the name. I'm going to go ahead and use my alias. So created by equals. And then I also, I have some that I put in today that I know are incorrect and I want to get rid of them. So I'm going to go ahead and say they were created. Salesforce uses their own little language, so you can just put in today. If you wanted to use a specific date, then you would put in the date in date format. And finally, I don't want to delete all of my activities. I only want to delete the tasks that I have. So the nice thing is I can also choose task equals and then true. This field will have a true false checkbox if it's a task. If it's an event, it would be false. So here's my criteria, and I'm going to click the search button, and then it's going to go ahead and search for all of the records that meet this criteria. Scroll through them. Make sure these are the records that you want to delete. There is enough information here for you to make that judgment. If there is not, don't do it until you verify. If the amount of records you're going to be deleting here is over 250, it will only show you the first 250, and then you would remove them and then hit search again, and then it will bring up the next 250. So if you were going to have to, let's say you uploaded 1,500 lead records that you want to remove, then you would have to do this process 6 times to get rid of them. So yes, I have decided I do want to remove them. You can check this box here to permanently delete them, which basically means they're not going to go to your recycle bin. If I did not check that, all those records would be in the recycle bin, and I could go back in within 2 weeks' time and easily restore them. But I know I don't want these in my database any longer, so I'm going to permanently delete them. The other thing you have to remember to do is also check the boxes. If I go tell it to delete, it will tell me you have to at least select one. So I'm going to go ahead and check the very top box. It will check all down the line, and I'll go ahead and click delete. And now if I search, I get no records, and I have deleted the records that I wanted. So that is how we delete records in math. Finally, I'm going to look at viewing data in the developer console. Now, the developer console is really just a place where you can build SQL queries. You can do a lot of other things here. For the most part, this is what a general user might use it for. SQL queries are your select statements. Please give me the data in certain fields from a certain object that meets a certain filter. To get to your developer console, you're going to go ahead and go to your gear icon again, and then click on developer console. This is going to open up in a completely different window. It will be in a browser window. And as you can see from the query I have here, it's pretty simple. I'm selecting the ID, the type, the billing state, and the phone field from the account object. You don't really have to worry about writing this because you can go to File, Open Resource, and you can see here in alphabetical order, here's my account object. You want to look for the entries that have OBJ at the end. Those are your objects. Let's say I wanted to look for task. I could type in task. There's my task object. Maybe I want opportunities. If I just type that in, there's my opportunity object. So we're going to go back to account, and we're going to open up that object just by clicking on it and click open. And it will open up a page here that has just the field. So now all you have to do is using a control click with your keyboard, click on the items that you want to see. So I want to see the type, and like I said, the state, And oops. Let's see if we got industry, but pick the fields obviously that you want to see. And then after you've chosen those, click the query button. And down here in your query editor, it will actually create the select statement for you. Select the fields that you chose from here from the object that you chose. And then to see the data, down here in the bottom left is the execute button. Go ahead and click that. And now all of the information is listed. The data is here, so you can see that. Also, your record count is here. So if I wanted to delete old accounts, I could put that in here. I could see the accounts. I could get my row counts and make sure that my delete would be correct. Okay, well, that ends our tips for this week, some admin items in both Lightning and Standard. We did talk about deleting records en masse. We went over fields and relationships, page layouts and search layouts, and the object manager, and also took a quick look at the developer console. Thank you for attending, and we hope you enjoyed and learned a little bit more about Salesforce. Be sure to go to marksgroup.net to get the most recent tips. I'll be posting those shortly, and we hope to see you next month when we review those live. Thank you, and have a great day.